soulful beats, deep jazz, and rare groove. You're listening to the seductive late-night sounds of monogamy. There can only be one, bitch.
Lifting the lid on monogamy audio, this is your Analog Soul. My name is Matt Hughes, and today I've got another 5 choice cuts to share with you, taken from my latest podcast, Interlude 52. Now you can get the link for the show below, and whilst you're there, if you like the sounds, why not subscribe to these videos. Starting today's video, we've got the sounds of the Brief Encounter. Now, this group hail from North Carolina, not an area that's renowned for its soulful funk groups. Now, the track that I've chosen for you is called A Good Thing, Bad Thing. The album was supposed to come out on Capitol Records in 1977, but the group ended up tearing up the contract because it would have meant going on the road for a couple of years, and they all had young families, and I think the $750,000 which they were offered just wasn't enough. So the album ended up coming out under the radar on 77 records, and because of that, with 2,000 copies, it is very rare and very expensive. I actually picked up the repress that came out on Jazzman. I think that was limited to 1,500, but it is very much worth tracking down. There's some killer tracks. So if you go back to the Capitol Records days, there was a 45 there. It featured in a special kind of way and get a good feeling. For me, that's definitely the choice cut, which is unusual on the 45, the up-tempo coming on the B side and the soulful ballad on the A. But yeah, Good Thing, Bad Thing is my cut. Really choice, and yeah, if you can track it down, lots of rare groove and funky ballads, definitely one for the collection. That was their first album, came out in 1977. Their second album came out in 1981, actually out of Wilkinsboro, North Carolina, and it's more of an up-tempo disco affair, and it's called We Want to Play. A big Floating Points record. I remember hearing this and having to track it down. Real killer record on the dance floor. The reason I'm talking about this one today is because the artwork is very unique. You see you've got the rainbow there and the clouds and the sky. So as I said, that was out of North Carolina, but the actual next album I want to talk to you about is Mr. Lee Edwards' Shades of Love. And this one came out of Detroit, but interestingly, it's the same artwork. So really not sure what that's about, but there we go. Mr. Lee Edwards, yeah, big chap, is the only album that he's got out there. In theme with the title of the album, Shades of Love, you've got I Found Love, which is a big old vocal affair, really nice, lots of energy. I think there was a 45 on that as well. Ingredients of Love, which they say it was a $1 million seller, so check that one out. But for me, it's all about, oh actually there's Prove Your Love as well. I tell you, lots of love going on here. But yeah, Equal Love Opportunity is my chosen cut for you. You get that in 2 parts. The first part with the vocal. The killer for me is part 2, the instrumental. Really special track, and yeah, I love this record. Real bit of a guilty purchase, but one to track down as well. Wait to pick up a copy of this album. Read a lot about it, came out at the beginning of the year on Far Out Recordings, one of my favourite labels. They're out of London by Mr. Joe Davis, and it's all about Brazilian music. They always do such a great job. So it's Mr. Marcus Resende and the Index, and this track is Nergal, and yeah, unreleased. It was recorded in 1976, and Marcus is a revered Brazilian session keyboardist, and he's worked with everyone in the game. The likes of Dexter Gordon, even Mr. Elton John, Stan Getz, Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers, but he didn't really find the right place or the right medium to put out his own music, especially Nergal, this 9-minute monster. It will blow you away, really will. So book some time and listen to that on your own with the lights down low. And the album itself has actually only released a couple of weeks after Marcus's death in November 2020. So RIP, check it out, buy a copy, you will not be disappointed. With a great story here. The group is called Bridge, and the track, well, there's numerous tracks on here which I could call out. It's a 2-set vinyl, so you got 4 sides. I think you got 16 tracks in total. Now the album originally came out on First Experience Records, actually in 2000. But when it came out, everyone thought it was a bootleg, and nobody really gave it much credence. But actually, that was the first release. It was cut back in 1981, but the LP never saw the light of day for whatever reason. Considering the quality of the band, Bridge really should have been big, but for whatever reason, a lot of people involved, a lot of band members, a lot of producers, they fell out, and yeah, it was stuck on the shelf. They said the press came out in 2000, and it was limited, and everyone thought it was a bootleg, so it didn't really do anything. But luckily, our friends at High Jazz Records, they're out of Switzerland, dropped it. I picked it up in Christmas last year, so just before, and then it became really rare. Discogs, of course, went crazy, and you had to pay stupid money. Good news is that they've just repressed it, and so you'll be able to pick it up at a moderate price, and I highly recommend it. A soul nugget. The album's called Crying for Love, and my choice cut is Love's in Your Corner. It's a belter. Check it out.
So if you're raising all time love, and you feel your life about to blow, hold your breath and count to 3. Love will come and set you free. You've got to learn to love while you are young, 'cause later on might be more work than fun. Some people search a lifetime to find what's right there in their own conscious mind. Love's in your corner, love's in your corner, love's in your corner.
Raising the tempo as the show goes on. It's a disco record, let's face it. It's sounds of Gene Adebambo, Say That You Love Me. Wicked, huge record. Out of the UK actually, she hailed from Islington in North London, and the cut was recorded in 1981. There was also an album called Feelings, and yeah, it's mega soulful disco. Yeah, Gene Adebambo, exceptional vocalist, an artist in the true sense of the word. She was a songwriter, multi-talented musician, keyboardist, guitar player. Yeah, wicked, man. I first heard it, I must admit, on the Under the Influence compilation from Nick the Record. Again, that's very difficult to track down. I think there were some unreleased cuts on there, and so you can't even get it on Discogs. But if you can get this one, or even the album, although I recommend the 12-inch because it's a longer recording, and it's nice and loud, and it's recorded at 45 RPM. So another one for your lists.
We've been together for quite some time, and our love has grown each day and will grow till the end of time. Our love will last forever, it will last for quite some time, and our love has grown each day and will grow till the end of time.
My name is Matt Hughes. This is your Analog Soul. See you next time.